My name is Donna Wallach. I live in San Jose, California.
Well, I'm of Eastern European Jewish descent. I'm 59 years old. I've been a social justice activist since I was in college, but it's been a very slow progress until I got to where I'm at. In 1974 is the first time I ever went to occupied Palestine, and I went there totally ignorant of the truth. And because I am Jewish, I'm of Jewish descent, I could easily get into the occupied Palestine, which is by many people known as Israel. And I had no trouble going there, no trouble going to a kibbutz and volunteering. On a kibbutz, I was only exposed to the Zionist propaganda, so I was still oblivious to the truth of what was going on. However, in 1981, I was able to go back again, and this time I lived in a city. And by living in the city, I started meeting Palestinians, and also started noticing, as time went on and I became more fluent in Hebrew, started noticing the racism that was all around me. Hearing things that people were saying about Palestinians, but also hearing things people were saying about other Jews who came from different parts of the world. And when I started talking with Palestinians, was really starting to see what they had been through. It's amazing. And the whole world watches it happen. Well, the world governments watch what's going on. They do nothing. The international organizations that can do something about it do nothing. The UN, UNRWA is down there. UNRWA is located inside the Gaza Strip. They see what's happening. They do nothing. Amnesty International knows what's going on. Human Rights Watch knows what's going on. The International Red Cross knows what's going on in the West Bank and in Gaza Strip and in East Jerusalem. And they could actually use their voice, put it out there to the populations of the world. They could put the pressure on the various governments and the officials who have the policy, not the policy, but they have the power to do something to stop this horrendous war crimes against humanity and crimes against peace that Israel is committing, the Israeli government is committing against the Palestinian people, and it's not happening. The only power that Palestinians have in the West Bank, East Jerusalem, and the Gaza Strip is to breathe. That's the only thing they can do freely. I think the situation for Palestinians in other areas is very, very bad. And not just for the Palestinians. The situation for the Druze is bad. The situation for the Bedouins is beyond despicable. They are losing their land faster than you can blink an eye. There's so much to talk about regarding Palestine, occupied Palestine, and the civil rights and human rights violations that is the policy of the Israeli government. And it's such an apartheid state. It is so based on racism and violations in human rights and civil rights. How anybody could even ever for a second think it's a democracy, I don't know.
Okay, my name is Darlene Wallach, and I'm from California. I currently live in San Jose. I've been here since 1978. I'm European descent, so I'm basically really an immigrant here in this country, although it's first generation on my mom's side and second generation on my dad's side. So let's see. I'm 59 years old. I'm Jewish, but don't really practice the religion at all. So I'm not sure why I think I identify as being Jewish, but that's how that is. I'm a runner. I just started running again, and my favorite distance to run is the marathon if I'm doing a race. That's my favorite distance. I've run over 50 marathons, And I've run distances from as short as a mile up to participating in a 100-mile race, although I never finished it. It was the Western States 100-mile endurance run. Before I got politically active, I was a software engineer, and I was busy working and running, so I really had no idea about political activism. So during the first time we invaded Iraq, I was very against that we were doing that, but did not know there were any political protests, and really didn't get politically active or involved until my sister came back from occupied Palestine in 1997. It wasn't until late in life that I got politically active. I went to, both of us went to the first conference that ended up becoming the divestment conferences at UC Berkeley in I guess it was February of 2002. And Ziad Abbas and Azan Andoni gave one of the seminars that we went to, and I remember Azan Andoni saying, you know, come to Palestine, come see for yourself. And I decided I was going to go, and ended up going that year in 2002 with the International Solidarity Movement, and I planned to go for 2 months. But anyway, so after the second house that I was in, seeing the soldiers bust through the wall, I was going to go back to the place I had stayed in the night before, and a soldier motioned for me to come, and if I had my, any thinking going on, I would have just turned around and walked away. But I walked up to him, and he said, come join your friends, and there were 6 people sitting on the ground, and I was coming with a woman who had just been in the house with me. And anyway, so we ended up, 8 of us were detained and arrested, and we were in an area of occupied Palestine where supposedly that was Palestinian control. The Israeli soldiers also don't have the authority to detain and arrest. That's the border police. And anyway, so when I ended up getting deported, I was really upset because I never thought I'd get back to Palestine again. It's pretty expensive to go there. And in 2008, some people decided they were going to do something, because a lot of people were getting deported. We couldn't get into Gaza anymore. And someone, Michael Shake from Australia, came up with the idea, well, why don't we go in by boat? So he didn't have the time. He couldn't work on that. But a bunch of other people from around the world, there were about 4 people that started really working on it. Greta Berlin, Mary Hughes Thompson, Eliza, and Bella. They really put a lot of work in, really started organizing and planning, and brought more people in. And so, sorry? Oh, Greta. Sorry, I thought I said Greta first. But anyway, so there's these 4 women really who really got it going. We went in by boat. There were like 17 countries represented by 43 people. It was just an amazing, most amazing experience of my life being on that boat and reaching Gaza. And it was really a thrill to be able to stay there afterward. And we reformed ISM Gaza Strip. There were about 7 of us who were staying and doing that. We were accompanying the Palestinian fishermen. A young man who had gone in with the boats had arranged us when we were just going in with the Free Gaza movement, and people were still there with that. Adam Friest from Denmark had arranged with some of the Palestinian fishermen for us to accompany them to go out. And then after that, there were those of us who stayed on and continued to do that. And what that enabled the Palestinian fishermen to do was actually go out and do some fishing. It made a huge impact that way. Also, we were accompanying Palestinian farmers. There were farmers who hadn't been able to get out to their fields for 5 years or more because Israel had set up this, what do you call it? No-go, not a no-go zone. They call it a buffer zone, a 500-meter buffer zone, that they had gone in and just, destroyed all the crops and farms, anything within 500 meters of the Israel border. So if Israel wanted a buffer, why don't they put it on their side? No, they put it on the Palestinian side. And this is like rich agricultural farmland. And considering that Gaza is so heavily densely populated, there's very little land that was available for farming.